Good morning, 10th December 21, Amazon stock E11. We have read yesterday about the 1 billion fine Italian government for anti-competition rules. My question is, if Italian government really loves Italian people, why not sharing the health, education and security in the European Union? So Italians have 5% tax. Of course, if justice was independent, this would be a right for all Italians. But as they cannot defend this, the justice, not the government, they attack utility with fines. Disruption of Amazon is huge. Point A to B, the product supplied, no interference of bureaucracy, of tax, and all the small and medium companies in Italy will go down because tax, because you inefficient government, 95%, it is the value. Now, how can then, again, as investor in Amazon, how can we defend the value of Amazon? Out of 400 billion sales in 21 and 20 approx, we have a 1 billion fine. Now, I, Candina Group, as business person, I also have paid 250,000 euros fines to the Inquisition Social Security. Yes, your mother and your father working in the governments of any country, they are the Inquisition. And they do not share costs in buildings and pieces of art to have a 5% tax. And justice is not independent, because if it was, bullying would be compulsory with the kids 6 years old, that I know this system very well, and nobody would be bullied or bullier, never. So imagine how many women could not be killed and so on, but they don't really care. They are just here to put more Inquisition fines to Amazon, to me, whoever lives around you. So it's your parents, it is your husband, your wife, it is your family putting fines to companies, because they are really losing 95% of tax. What can we do about it? Okay, now as an investor, just a personal private investor in Amazon, perhaps I would have to look at the value, reputation of the company. First of all, in Italy, probably there is a lot of investors of Amazon that have suffered with this fine, like me. So how can we play again tiki-taka much faster than you, Italian government? How can we? Number one, we need to have worldwide fine listing, accountability, and lawyers to defend the reputation of utility. This must be stopped one day. If we have incompetent governments charging 100% tax, eliminating population with tax, we must defend. But this is the value of Amazon. So then, number one, buy shares of Amazon. If Amazon has 50 billion cash, should buy out its own stock to increase the value of the stock. Number one. Number two, should divide the shares. Let's say now is 3,400, let's say, so divide 1 in 10, so that it is 340. That way, the millennials and the Zs, the sons and daughters of all the Italy government workers and the partners and everybody would realize who they are sharing their breathing with. so they go somewhere else to breathe free utility, because enough is enough inquisition fines. I want my €250,000 back from Social Security. Yes, that's all you do. Now, if Amazon bought out its own shares and had a policy like Berkshire Hathaway and many other companies, then of course the value would grow. If Amazon would divide the shares 1 in 10, for example, or 1 in 20, then we could have a lot more youngsters, Italian investors, see how the value grows. Then perhaps next time you put a fine, you have to look at your kids and find out if you're making them lose money too. So the first thing you can do is cut 95% of your tax and bureaucracy inefficiency share throughout all the governments. And for Amazon, well, if it was 400 billion sales in 20, I guess this year it will be 410. I just don't care. I'm just here for the long term. This is fun. If Amazon wanted to grow huge profits, they could stop marketing, because they do not need any marketing anymore, and they could stop investment in infrastructures. But they just bought them very, very cheap. Now, go on and build these infrastructures. Go and build them now. So I'm not really worried about the price, but I'm really worried that these governments are incompetent. And this time, you know, your mother and your father, what they do is to cut tax 95% so that millennials and Zs can invest in a stock. Yes, they are not going to invest in Italy because it's already sunk. So please invest in Amazon like me. And if you are in Amazon board of directors, think about being socially responsible. A corporation that really invests in also the investors. If we believe in Amazon, then Amazon must believe in the investors. Perhaps some might have big sums of money to invest, but others perhaps are just $170, which is 1 in 20, $340, 1 in 10, that's a lot of money. It would be a huge step forward for Amazon to buy out its own shares and cut 1 in 20, because then a lot of new investors would join, and then perhaps those inquisition that don't want to cut the tax 95% and the inefficiency, and that's why Italian companies are gone, same as in Spain, then perhaps they would think twice to put more fines. I think it's a very intelligent strategy. Take care, nice weekend, like and subscribe, bye.